Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston. We're your hosts. We're still joined by Brick McDermott from Cunningham & Company. We're so glad you're spending your Sunday morning with us. Whether you're in the car or on the couch, you're always at home with Roby. Visit us today at andrewroby.com, or you can always click on the At Home with Roby tab at wbt.com. Brick, before the break, we talked a lot about Cunningham & Company, the history. Let's recap that a little bit if anybody's just joining so they understand who you are, and then we really want to jump into some of these specifics. And you mentioned a great stat in the break there that we want to make sure the listeners get as well.
Sure. Cunningham & Company, founded in 1990, opened up in Charlotte in 1991, opened the doors. It's a family-run company. Hank Cunningham's the founder, and his son Tripp it works here as well. So it's got a lot of family is the true character of Cunningham. I mean, our ultimate goal is to get as many families into their houses on an easy basis, as easy as possible. But yeah, we've been around for a while. We know the ebbs and flows of the markets, and excited to have what looks like a good spring market upon us.
Absolutely.
Well, Roby has the same family theme, right? That's why you're on the show. That's why we're partners. That's what we're trying to do. And not only, I mean, we think of the same way, not just the Haston family, me and my brother and our family that runs the business, but beyond that, our staff are family. We treat them like family. We want to take care of their family, their generational family, and then our clients are family. They're generational. You want to get them in homes. We want to maintain and build, construct, and maintain their homes for generations. I mean, for their kids and their people they work with and their cousins and stuff. So that's good. Another reason why we jive so well, and you have these great construction products at the right time when the market's booming and the weather's getting good. You have your new construction loan you were started to talk about before the break, and then you also have this the rehab product,
Right.
Which are very applicable to our clients and want to educate our clients about it. So those are two separate products, though, right?
Correct. You've got the renovation, which you are already an owner of the house and you want to do some additions to it. And then you might have a lot that you just purchase the lot and build a house on it. We can do both of those.
And that's kind of our business model, is to bring in a partner. When I was young, I used to read the books. If you're going to be a businessman, you gotta build your team. You got to have your lawyer, your CPA, your finance guy. Well, that's kind of what we want to do for our clients, because you do get lost. So we have the real estate, and then we have the construction, so we can educate on both of those fronts, whether it be buying a house that you want to renovate, or you want to renovate your house and weigh it against buying a new house or something of that nature, but then also bringing in the availability for money and the smartest way to get the money, and educating the client on that process. I have a question. Do you get all the money up front, or do you get a draw schedule kind of as the construction progresses?
It's based on a draw schedule.
Okay.
And one thing about us is we're very flexible with the builders. We don't have a one be-all to ends-all draw schedule that we use. We go whatever the builder uses, as long as it makes sense. We're gonna do our best to use it and make it as simple as possible.
So to explain that a little bit to the homeowner that's listening, we were talking about the millennials.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you gave us a stat about the millennials thinking they had to put down half for a house or something. I'll let you say that in a second. But that means you don't pay interest on the money until the work's done at the house. Is that correct?
Correct. You pay interest in as the draws compound. I like to give it as an example. It's almost like an equity line. Say you have a $200,000 equity line. You haven't drawn anything out of it yet. You're not paying on that.
Right.
However, say the builder needs 5 draws or 4 draws for $50,000 apiece on a $200,000 total cost.
Mm-hmm.
First draw is $50,000. Well, you're not going to start paying on that $50,000 until it's sent to the builder. And you're not paying on the $200,000, you're paying on the $50,000. until the builder needs another draw, and you keep going until you get to that
Right.
200. So you pay as you go type deal, like an equity line.
It protects the homeowner.
Absolutely. It's a great way to get money to do those projects. Folks, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. You can visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com. Our guest today is Brick McDermott from Cunningham and Company. Give him a call, 704-651-3827. That's 651-3827. We're talking about the mortgage industry. We're talking about what Cunningham can do for you. And, Brick, you talked about construction loans and ground-up stuff. But somebody's sitting at home, maybe they're in their car, they're thinking about that living room, that bathroom they want to do. They want to do an extension or upgrade their kitchen. That renovation loan that you have, that's a great product for folks who want to update a home. Can you take folks through what's the process for that and to get something like that done?
Our renovation loans actually start at $5,000. So that's the minimum. So if you're buying a house, just okay, well, I want some countertops in there, a new set of countertops, and new, something like that. Then we could even add that to the mortgage as long as it appraises out. So, and that doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a
But you
GC.
got to go through all this paperwork. You got to go to the attorney's office 3 times and do all that, right?
Well, for that, something that small, we just need to have the
That was sarcasm, by the way, Brick, that Trent just threw at you.
I feel like the alpha male right now.
It's fairly simple. It's a one-time close, and we did a great job with it. And then you modify the end with me, and it's not going to. You only have to see an attorney once.
Yeah, I was joking.
I
was
know,
acting
I know.
like you had to build Rome to get it done. You've been offending me with your great tan. I know it's spring and all, but I hadn't come out of my hibernation
that's that golf
mode
course
yet.
tan.
So it's the golf season.
I
Closing
think I'm
mortgages.
just generally pale.
But let's say it's not something small. You really want to blow out your kitchen. Maybe you want to spend $75,000 on that. You want to. I assume you take a look at the project. You look at the plans. You look at what the post appraisal is going to be, and then you value it through that. But it's still a simple process.
It's simple, and really it all starts once you have the plans. Once it has the plans, then you send them. Then what we do is we send it to an appraiser, and we have the appraiser value the future value. They'll give us the future value based on those plans and specs. It's a normal, 30, 45-day process once we have the plans. So, yeah, it's fairly simple.
And we work together with Brick. So a client says, "Hey, I'm considering doing my kitchen, my bathroom, and a rear porch, and I want to see what that'll bring a la carte those 3 items to my home." So we'll do some budgets per their dream up front,
Right.
and then we'll work with Brick over here and say, "Hey, these are their budgets. What value they gonna get out of this, and what's it gonna appraise out?" And he'll say, "I think we're good. Go ahead and bring it to construction drawings, and then we'll do this," and we're able to proceed. But also it's a pick and choose game as well. Where are they going to receive more value? I mean, you hear the traditional kitchens and master bathrooms
Right.
and stuff, and that's
Outside
true.
patios.
Absolutely.
So you got to weigh those options, and
So
that's where we come in.
Absolutely, and so you have those options, but then you got people, they're out there shopping for houses. They're looking. We talked about the buyer-ready product before that. Let's talk a little bit about, and let's get that stat in you talked about with millennials, but let's talk about traditional mortgages and the types of products you can have. And we've got about a minute and a half left, so.
Yeah, we work with all conventional government jumbos over $417,000, and construction loans. So we run the full gamut on that. And that stat that I shared with you is millennials, and I think this is either Bankrate or FannieMae.com, Bankrate.com or Fannie Mae, but one of the two, and I'll get that to y'all who gave the stat. But millennials, 45% of millennials think that you have to put at least 20% down on a home.
That's
You don't.
crazy.
Yeah.
3% is the minimum right now. So it's just, and that's another thing, just get into education. I mean,
Right.
people need to know 3% down, you're in a home.
Isn't that perception, though, with how tight the market got and how constricted lending got during the recession, and now it's loosening back up and become more logical, but isn't that an after effect of that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of apprehensions based on a few years back.
But it is good information to get out there because it helps people understand. Maybe they're sitting there and think, okay, I've got to wait 10 years. I've got to save this money to get to this point. If they can narrow that range, they can take advantage of this market that we're in right now and find a really good home and really get in and take advantage of home ownership. So great conversation, Trent.
Oh, I love it. Very educational.
Yeah, great. Brick, thanks so much for being here. Let's really quick. I know your phone number is 704-651-3827. Folks at home, if they're listening, how can they get more information about you guys?
Please just call me or text me. I'm real quick at getting back to you if I don't pick up, and would love to help you out with any questions you have and point you in the right direction.
That is awesome. Call or text. That's service, my friend. And now he's talking to the millennials.
Yeah,
is what
the
he
millennials
said.
are
Hit him on
taking over.
Snapchat. Just hit him on Snapchat. And, hey, I'll tell you one thing real quick. I sat in a meeting. We talked about service, the history of the company, and what I was so impressed with in that meeting, and Hank talked about this, is you guys don't talk about how many homes you close. You talk about how many families you helped. And I think that says a lot about who you are as a company.
It's amazing the how we're so directed to families. I mean, that's our whole nature of what we
Absolutely.
do.
All right, buddy. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brick.
guys.
All right, folks, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.